Good morning. How are y'all this morning? Wait just a minute. Let me see if I can get my phone and my computer to sync up. Give everybody a chance to get some coffee and settle in. I'm going to be guzzling coffee today. I stayed up too late last night watching that pitiful Dallas Cowboys football game. It was just ugly, brutal. I hate to see them getting beaten so bad, but they beat themselves last night. They had nobody to blame but themselves. Good morning, Tammy. How are you? I'm going back and forth from my phone to my laptop because if you haven't joined us before, I try to watch for your comments and respond when I can and answer questions when I can, but I can't see those on my phone, so I have to go back and forth from my phone to my computer. Good morning, Kim and Barbara and Ellen, the early birds. It's about 7 in Texas and it's cool this morning. We're in the 40s. So we're having to break out the boots and sweaters. I know when I was on vacation a couple of weeks ago up in the Northeast, they were telling me how cold and brutal the weather can be up there. And I just can't even imagine. We don't have anything like that here. We don't really hit winter in Texas until January normally. And then it's not very long, maybe a couple of months of cold, but we don't get the bad weather. So anyway, okay, let's get started this morning. You all inspired today's subject because I've noticed several of you posting lately a message, and it usually starts with these words. It all started with. Several of you said it all started with one piece of Halloween candy and then I ended up eating it all, or then I went on a week-long binge, or I found that I just couldn't stop. Some of you will say after this week, it all started with Thanksgiving lunch. I gave myself permission to eat anything I wanted to. I put Weight Watchers on hold for the day, and then I just couldn't stop. Sometimes we say it all started with a gain on the scale. I felt like I was doing great. I felt like I was in control until I went to my meeting, thought I'd had a good week. I got on the scale and I had gained, and then it just spiraled out of control. Sometimes it's that I got on the scale and I only lost 0.2, 0.4, whatever. I don't like the word only. Only minimizes any positive in that statement. You lost or you maintained, but you didn't only. You worked hard for that loss. It may have been a small loss, but you still worked hard for it, and it deserves the respect. And only takes the respect out of it. Sometimes it all started with that one week that I decided to not go to my meeting because I had struggled and I knew I was going to be up on the scale, so I decided not to go. Do you see the pattern? It all started with a negative thought and spiraled out of control. If you know that you can't have that one piece of candy and stop there, don't start there. If you know that giving yourself permission on Thursday to declare a holiday from your Weight Watchers plan, if you know that doing that will cause that one meal or that one day to become a free-for-all weekend, then don't do it. If you know that a slight gain on the scale is going to cause you to beat yourself up and decide to throw in the towel because clearly Weight Watchers isn't working because you didn't lose, 19 pounds this week, then don't weigh in this week. You have the option of going to your meetings and telling the receptionist that you choose to not weigh in this week, and they're happy to accommodate you. You can also weigh in and ask them to not tell you what your loss was. They'll put your sticker in your book, and you can look at it later when you're in a better frame of mind. If you know that not going to your meeting this week because you've had a bad week is only going to make the week worse, then don't fall into that trap. I'd like to encourage you this week to flip that mentality upside down. How about it all started with one of these? It all started with one workout. I hadn't been doing anything. I decided that it was time to add exercise to my plan. So I got up, I put on my tennis shoes, and I walked out the door. It all started with walking out the door, or walking into the gym, or getting in the floor in the living room during commercials and doing some sit-ups or leg lifts or arm circles, or just walk around your living room during commercials. It all has to start somewhere. How about it all started with I decided to stop waiting and go to meetings. I saw a post and I meant to write her name down, and I wish I had, where a lady said, I think it was a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, the week before Thanksgiving, she decided to not wait until after Thanksgiving to start. So she jumped in and she posted a collage of pictures, and they were so amazing, the transformation. It all started with that decision to not wait. How about it all started with finding a friend or being a friend? So many of us have discovered some amazing friendships on this board, and we may never meet face to face, but we meet face to face here every day. And you'll never know how much your friendship motivates and inspires someone who may not have any support in their life, or you may have said a kind word to them when they needed it most. You may have told them that they're making some good choices and you're proud of them and you want to encourage them. You may be the only person who does that. So it all starts with a positive decision. Don't let your negative overtake your life this week. This is a week to be thankful. We should be thankful every day, obviously, but this is the week that we set aside to count our blessings. So I encourage you this week, put it in perspective. Take the negative thoughts out of the equation this week. Don't let yourself go there. If negative tries to come in, evict it, kick it out, turn it into something positive. I'd like to ask you to do something this week, maybe today. Do it before Thursday. Take a piece of paper, and on one side of that piece of paper, make a list of the foods that you intend to eat Thursday. Not necessarily the amounts, just the foods that you intend to eat. And then I'd like for you to look at it maybe a couple of hours later and see if you would be willing to remove just one of those. Look at it and decide, you know what? I could do without this. I could sacrifice this if I could have all the others. Mark that one off. And then maybe one more time before Thursday, look at it again and see if there's maybe one more thing that you would be willing to mark off or agree to only have a small portion of it. And then I'd like for you to take a look at the desserts and mark the ones that you would be willing to just do the 3-bite rule. In case you don't know, the 3-bite rule is the first bite is to decide whether or not you like the food that you're eating. The second bite is to enjoy the flavor, savor the food. And then the third bite is to say goodbye. So when you go through the line Thursday and fix your plate, when you get ready to put the desserts, the slice of pie or whatever the dessert is you're going to have, when you get ready to put it on your plate, just dish out 3 bites. If the pies are already sliced, there isn't a rule that you have to take the whole slice. Just take off a small portion of it. And that way you're enjoying it, but you're not indulging and you're not overdoing it. On the other side of that piece of paper, I would ask you to write down at the top of the paper, it all started with. I don't want you to write a negative thing on that piece of paper. List for yourself 3 things that you would be willing to start to make a change in your life starting Friday, the morning after Thanksgiving. I'll tell you what mine are going to be. Friday morning, I'm going to start exercising on a consistent basis. I've kind of played with it. I've been very fortunate that I've lost my 58 pounds without exercise, but it's time to add exercise in. The other thing is I'm going to start Friday morning tracking everything that goes into my mouth. I've gotten very lax with that. I track it in my head, and I'm at a lifetime, and so I'm maintaining. But I need to be more diligent, so I'm going to start exercising, and I'm going to start tracking. And the other thing is I'm going to start making time to not let myself be stressed out, but just to enjoy life. I tend to put an awful lot on myself, a lot of deadlines, a lot of stress that isn't necessary. I bring it on myself. So when I start feeling stressed, I'm going to make myself sit down, take 5 minutes to just block everything out and just sit and count my blessings. And I encourage you to do that. And I think if we can turn that it all started mentality into a positive, then 2018 will be an incredible year for most, if not all of us. So do that for yourself this week. Don't let the negative overtake and ruin this holiday week for you. If you don't have anything, or you feel like you don't have anything to be thankful for, dig deep. Look hard. We all have so much to be thankful for. We just don't recognize it often. And sometimes it comes disguised. But I encourage you to do that this week. I think you'll see when you turn your it all started with into something positive, it just changes your outlook. It makes you just get a little pep in your step. You just feel a little bit better about everything. And then you'll start looking for things to start. And make yourself a list and check them off as you go along. Let me tell you a couple of announcements, and then I'll try to answer some of your questions. If you haven't gone to the event section in the group, it's usually on my computer. It's on the left-hand side if I'm in the Facebook group. Under Weight Watchers Over 50, you'll see videos, photos, files, group insights, and you should see one that says events, and that's where we're going to notify you of upcoming things that are going on, like the sale of the t-shirts, and some of the members have put together a meet and greet in May of 2018. The deadline to let them know that you're interested, this is not a hard commitment, we're not asking you to say for sure, but the deadline to let them know that you're interested to participate in that short little 3-day cruise will be midnight Sunday night. They have to let the travel agent know, or the cruise line know, I think on Monday, how many they're looking at. So if you think you're interested and you want more information, go to the events section and check. Maybe, I think your options are going, interested, something like that. Anyway, check and let them know and leave a comment. And then Monday, when they have all the information together, they'll share that with all of us. And then those of us who are going to be able to go can go in and secure our place. And so I hope that lots of you will be able to do that. It'll be a fun way to just meet each other face to face. You see my face all the time, but I would love to see some of yours. The other thing is, I think the t-shirt sale's closed, and you should be receiving those soon, but we will do another one for certain after the first of the year, and certainly before the cruise, so that those of you who are going can wear your shirts and we'll be able to recognize you. Let me see what kind of questions and comments you have, and we'll do a couple of, maybe three or four of those, and then I'll let you get your day started, because I know it's a short week for a lot of us. We have a lot going on. Jeanette says it's all about the little things in life. You know, the little things, when we think about them and count our blessings for them, they really start adding up to big things. I know with me, and you may not be this way, but with me, if I let myself dwell on the negative side of life, the negative overtakes, and then I find myself spiraling into that, you know, that funk where you feel like you're out of control, and you feel like nothing you do is going to be good enough, and you don't have time to do it all, so I just won't bother. I won't do anything. So don't let the negative overtake you this week. Take a moment to just relax, catch your breath, sit back, and be thankful. Enjoy your time with your family, enjoy time with your friends, and you know, here's one that's really tough. Enjoy time with you. If you have to, get a piece of paper and make a list of the things about yourself that you're happy with, and that you're proud of yourself for. You need to be proud of you. You need to be your biggest cheerleader, because you can be your biggest hinderer if you're not, and nobody needs that. Hello from Vermont. Vermont is so pretty, Leah. I was there. We went to a maple farm when we were on vacation. I wish I could remember the name of it, but it was absolutely beautiful, and we had just had such a wonderful time. And for the first time in this Texas girl's life, I experienced maple butter. Oh my goodness, it was so good. I still have some in my refrigerator. I'm not sure what to do with it, but it's there calling my name. It was wonderful. Linda says she just found this awesome group, and she's from Northwest Wisconsin. Well, Linda, welcome. We're very glad that you found us, and we hope that you feel like you have found a home. This is a large family, but that's exactly what we are. And I love that everybody here is so supportive. Hi, Gail from Texas, another Texas girl. Barbara says we need to make this "It All Started With Me." I love that, Barbara. You have to take the first step. And gosh, what a difference we could make in 2018 if we could wrap our brains around that. It all starts with me. The good, the bad, and the ugly starts with me, but it also ends with me. My voice is worn out. It was a long, busy weekend, and I'll tell you all about it sometime, but my husband and I retired from part-time ministry yesterday after 35 years of working in our church on the weekends. And so we've decided this next chapter of our lives is going to be having our weekends free to travel and spend time with our kids, make memories with each other. And so it was a long emotional weekend, and my voice is just shot. But lots going on this week. It's going to be a short week for me at work, and then lots of cooking to get ready for my children and grandchildren to come over and spend the day with us on Thursday. I hope you're going to be surrounded by friends and family, and if you're not, we'll be here on the Facebook group, so join us. I'm making a promise to you. What I'm going to do on Thursday is I'm not going to count my points that day, but I am going to be very aware of what I eat, and I'm also going to be accountable. I promise you, before I eat my Thanksgiving meal, I will take a picture of my plate and post it so you can see what I'm eating. And that will hold me accountable, and I won't eat anything that I didn't post. What I'm going to do is remember it's one meal. It's not the entire day, and it's not the entire weekend. It's one meal. So the rest of my day is going to be very low point. I'm not starving for the day, but I am going to be eating low point food and saving my points, and I will definitely be eating some weeklies for that meal, but just make it one meal. It's not a whole day, and it definitely doesn't roll over into Friday. I think that's it. I can't think of anything else. I just want you to have a wonderful week. If you didn't notice, we passed 60,000 members this week, which still just boggles my mind. But I'm so thankful that more and more people are finding help and support and encouragement and becoming part of this amazing family. So don't forget to check out the events section. And if you haven't mailed your holiday cards, if you did the Elster holiday card exchange, please be sure and get those in the mail. And then when you receive those, share them with us so we can share in your excitement, and those who didn't make the deadline can see what it was all about, and hopefully will join us next time. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I love and appreciate all of you, and I'll see you on the board. Bye-bye.